broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web. You're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
We think pretty is pretty important in all things in beauty. Welcome to RadioAMB, designed for those who want to live a long and vibrant life. I'm Patty Smucker, a licensed cosmetologist who's been in the beauty industry for over 40 years. You're listening to RadioAMB, which stands for American Made Beauty, and it's where we tell the secrets behind the making of health and beauty products. Our segment sponsor today is Intelligent Nutrients, a non-toxic, certified organic product that works for you and the planet. Go to AmericanMadeBeauty.com and find Intelligent Nutrients and other verified American-made beauty brands. Today our show has two parts that explores the world of beauty influencers and how they're shaping the way beauty brands are interacting with customers. The first American Influencer Awards will be held in Los Angeles November the 18th, and it will be a veritable who's who of social media personalities, beauty gurus, and celebrities. This special celebration helps commemorate and acknowledge those within the beauty industry that we all turn to enlighten and educate us on all things in beauty. Social media now plays such a pivotal role in consumers' day-to-day buying decisions that AMB is excited to support the celebration of these important people in this marketplace. And our first guest today is the founder and CEO of American Influencer Association, Chris Crelin. During the second half of our show, we'll meet Mike Mekash, one of the working influencers in the market today. Mike is an Emmy award-winning makeup artist currently on American Horror Stories with a long track record of success in creating images that have graced the big screen. So stay with us for the whole show today. But let's get started right away by welcoming Chris. I'm glad to have you with us.
Thanks, Patty. Glad to be here.
So, Christopher, tell us a little bit about the American Influencer Awards, what it is so that our audience can get up to speed.
Absolutely. So the American Influencer Awards essentially honors the greatest contributors of social media. Essentially, we recognize the excellence of the top beauty influencers annually. Just to be clear, this is our first year. And we have a big event coming up, as you said, November 18th at LA Live in downtown Los Angeles. The event's going to consist of a red carpet event for 2 hours, and then that's going to roll into the award show. And we have a lot of major talent and big influencers that are part of the show, and we're really excited about it. Essentially we want to just make sure that we're recognizing the great talent and the positive influence that these influencers have in the beauty industry.
And so tell us a little bit about how did this get started? This is the first year, and what was it that stimulated the idea to start your association as well as this award event?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. It's funny. I have a background in business. I actually went to USC, and my father-in-law owns the Kirshner Group. He's been in the beauty industry for 40 years now. And my wife's been in the beauty industry herself for well over 10 years. So I've been on the sidelines for quite a while. I've had a chance to kind of observe as an outsider. And one day I was sitting around and I thought to myself, I was on Instagram and all these social media platforms, and I saw how influential these influencers are, and I heard people talking about how they have such easy jobs. They just take pictures and post, and I thought a little deeper into it, and I thought to myself, you know what, this is a lot more difficult than it looks. And anyway, to make a very, very long story short, I thought to myself, these influencers are not appreciated like they should be, and certainly aren't recognized. And from there, we kind of kicked off the idea to launch the American Influencer Association. and essentially, the association is going to be presenting the award show in November.
It sounds great, and I think you said something that's very interesting, that people think that it's this really easy, people take pictures and post them, and all of a sudden they're famous or whatever, but it's a tough job. Tell us a little bit about the criteria that you guys have developed for those who are being honored in this award ceremony.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you hear the older generation talking about how these millennials are so entitled and all they do is post and this and that. And at the end of the day, social media, influencer marketing is actually the number one way to market a brand these days and to really grow a brand. The days of print advertisement have kind of come and gone. And, whether we want to accept it or not, this is the new movement. And, with that being said, it's one of those things where, we gotta make sure that we're recognizing these influencers and giving them the proper attention that they deserve, because, again, from the outside you see a picture, you see a quick video, and people don't realize the amount of travel that a lot of these influencers are doing with, companies flying them here and there to do different appearances and advertisements or whatever it may be, and the time that goes into shooting these videos and the creativity behind it and the thought behind it. And, again, there's a lot more to it than what the followers are seeing on the actual social media channels.
Right.
So to answer your question, we have an advisory board that we've selected of 12 individuals. They're very, very extremely respected individuals throughout the professional beauty industry as well as the retail industry. And they've come together, and, there's a lot of different variables, as I'm sure you know, in social media, in terms of trying to differentiate one from another and figuring out who essentially is creating the most engagement. So some of the different variables that our advisory board is looking for when selecting nominees is, of course, how many different social media platforms are they on, and, what's the creativity behind it? What are they posting? And, do they have the ability to positively influence their followers and essentially get them to, follow whatever it is that they're saying to make their decisions when they're the consumer, decisions when they're actually going out and buying products or getting their hair done or whatever it may be. Of course, one of the big things that they're looking for as well is the engagement. A lot of people think, especially the older generation, they think, oh, this person has 5 million followers. But at the end of the day, if there isn't a lot of engagement, if there aren't a lot of likes on the pictures and comments and et cetera, it really doesn't matter how many followers you have. So it really just comes down to what influencers are essentially catching the eye of our advisory board and have some of those variables that I mentioned.
Right. And, it's interesting because I think whether it's an age thing or it's a technology thing, there's definitely a gap between people that understand what's happening and are engaged with it and people who are just sort of on the sidelines going, oh, my gosh, what's going on? But when you talk about some of these various different things, let's dive in a little deeper. You said how many different platforms are they on? Is it a good thing for them to be just specialized on one platform, or is the panel looking for someone who's spread across multiple social platforms?
That's a great question. It comes down to who's really making an impact. I think that there's plenty of examples out there of people that maybe only have a YouTube channel in terms of a large audience or an audience that's very engaged. And there's certainly other influencers out there that have multiple platforms, such as maybe a YouTube and an Instagram. So really it's a case-by-case basis. Off the top of my head, from the nominees I can think of, a lot of them are pretty specialized in certain areas. But again, it really just comes down to who's positively influencing their followers in the beauty industry, who's getting that engagement, and who's really making a difference and really shaping the beauty industry. And,
I think that's the issue, is that the purpose of advertising, and you mentioned earlier that the way of print advertising has come and gone, and of course I'm a bit older, a little closer to your dad's age or your father-in-law's age, but I feel like I still enjoy print for particular types of information and experience, but at the same time, there's people that don't do it at all. They're doing 100% of their time with regards to digital. So what are some of the things that, as you looked at these influencers, that popped out to you in terms of being creative?
I mean, it's one of those things where, for me personally, it really comes down to who can really differentiate themselves, who can really draw on that audience. To your point, I don't think that print advertising will ever fully go away, obviously, but there's certainly a major shift taking place before our eyes, again, whether we want to admit it or not.
Right, absolutely.
Everything's going digital, you know, so... when you asked me that question, the first thing I thought of was YouTube. Everybody's coming out with their YouTube channels now, and everything's video, especially with the advancements with technology. So, as far as the creativity goes, that's the beauty of it. And I hate to use the word beauty in the beauty industry, but
we do.
Everybody's got their unique way of capturing their audience and getting their audience to want to follow them or subscribe to their YouTube channel or whatever it may be, and continue to follow their lives or again, whatever it is that they're portraying on their channels. But one of the biggest things is and I think it's becoming more evident as time goes on, but these influencer marketing is really one of those things now where I think the consumers from all the different things that they're doing out there to find out what kind of impact these influencers are having, it really comes down to these millennials and these people that are following them on the social media channels on a daily basis. They like the honesty part of it. They feel like everything's transparent. They like to know the tutorials and the product reviews on the different things that are coming out. And I think that's what you're missing with the print advertisements. Like you were saying before, you don't think print will ever go away, or maybe that's what I said. And there's truth to that. And I think that there's a lot of companies that still buy into the idea of the repetitive marketing, so putting your logo out there and letting the consumers see it on a day in and day out basis. But at the end of the day, I don't know that it fully resonates consciously with the consumers in that they're not buying in from the honesty part of it. They're not seeing that, okay, just because I'm seeing this logo, it actually is a substantial product that does what they say it does.
Right.
At an affordable price.
Right. Well, and you're right. That whole piece of transparency and honesty is, in fact, we've been talking for a while, as digital has become the predominant way in which messages are being communicated, that transparency and honesty is equity. It's worth something in the marketplace today. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the nominees that stand out in your mind this year?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the unique things that we're doing is for the first time ever, we're taking the professional beauty industry and the retail beauty industry, and we're putting everybody under one roof at the same time. And that's something that we're really priding ourselves on. Really recognizing not only the hair community, not only the makeup community, but nails and the wigs and, men's stylists and barbers out there. We feel that it's very important to bring everybody together and, become one, especially with everything that's going on in this country right now.
Right.
And, as far as the nominees go, I hate to highlight some and not others, but, we've got one of the unique things we have is, not only do we have the macro influencers, which is an influencer that essentially has a very, very, very large following. Everybody's definition is slightly different of what that following might be. Some might say 250,000 people. Some might say 500,000. But at the end of the day, one thing that we're really focused on, too, is making sure that we're recognizing that up-and-coming talent. Those emerging hairstylists and those emerging makeup artists, et cetera. Some of the names that really come to mind is, the Jaclyn Hills and the Laura Lees, and you've got Pinup Jordan, who, like I was saying, is a micro-influencer who's, really, really making a name for herself in terms of the emerging creative colorist of the year. So, again, that's one of the nice things about our show is we want to make sure that we're that we're giving credit where credit's due, and we're not just focused on the top, that we're really, really recognizing everybody, and we're essentially, putting those emerging stars on the map for those sponsors so that they understand and identify who those up-and-coming people are.
Right.
So they could start working with them, at an early stage.
And, you make a good point, and for our audience, I just want to explain, for in the beauty industry, there's traditionally been sort of a separation of church and state. And it would be, of course, I come from the professional beauty industry, and that would be what I would consider to be church, because we're sort of the professionals, the people behind the chair, and for many, many years, our products that we use behind the chair, they were only available in the professional environment. And then you had everyone else, what you could buy in the department store, what was involved in the drugstore, all of that, and that's sort of the general beauty industry. Influencers have been part of bringing those markets together, and consumers have been part of bringing those markets together, because now consumers want product where they want them, when they want them, and they don't care about those channels. And right. So I think that's one of the really significant things that have changed. And so as you look at these various different people, I love that you're focusing not only on the ones that have big numbers, but also on those micro, those up-and-coming people. Is there a difference in terms of the engagement that the smaller influencers have as compared to the larger ones?
You know what, it's really a case-by-case basis, not necessarily. So just because you have a much larger following doesn't mean that your engagement rate is necessarily going to be higher or lower.
Mm-hmm.
It really comes down to engagement rate, and there's so many different ways you can calculate it, of course. But, ultimately it's the amount of likes, and so let's use Instagram, for example. It's the amount of likes and comments that you're getting. With the total amount of followers that you have, and you can essentially come up with what that percentage is to see, okay, I've got a 2% engagement rate or a 3% engagement rate. Typically if somebody has a 2 to 3% engagement rate, that's probably about average off the top of my head. Those numbers kind of change, day to day. So, again, I think in the beginning, these brands were trying to partner up with these bigger influencers,
mm-hmm.
and then they've realized that there's certainly a lot of value with working with the micro-influencers as well, because, there's plenty of examples out there of the micro-influencers essentially helping grow a brand, and vice versa, a brand helping an influencer grow their following as well.
Right.
So you're starting to see, these influencers and brands partner up more and more. And, as time goes on, I think brands are starting to identify that. Don't get me wrong, they certainly want to work with the macro influencers. They would love to,
mm-hmm.
but some of these brands just don't have the budget for it.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of other brands out there that have small budgets versus the bigger brands that have the bigger budgets, and that's why there's such a demand for these micro influencers.
Right. And so do you see long-term, what is the award program obviously is one of the aspects of the American Influencer Association, but overall, what's the bigger picture in terms of the role that the American Influencer Association will play with influencers and brands?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have a lot of different things in the pipeline at the moment. We haven't launched a lot of what's up our sleeve publicly yet.
Mm-hmm.
It will be coming out here in the next 30 to 60 days.
Okay.
But yeah, we pride ourselves on being more than just an award show. Of course we want to come out and recognize these influencers and give them the night that they deserve and give them the recognition that they deserve, because they're all very, very creative individuals that work extremely hard. I'll be completely honest. I know some of these influencers personally, and the amount of hours they put in, they work more hours than just about anybody else I know.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, we want to put on a spectacle. We want to put on a show that's never been done in beauty before. And, again, pride ourselves in being more than just an award show.
Mm-hmm.
So, look for us to be having quarterly events and a lot of other things that I think the influencers as well as the brands are going to be very excited about.
That's great. And so when you mentioned, and you've said this several times as far as the amount of work that's involved, as we wrap up this first segment, can you tell us what you think are some of the key activities that is in a daily life of a social influencer? What does a day look like for them?
You know what? That's a great question for an influencer. I will tell you that from my experience, what I know, I see these influencers who are shooting YouTube videos at 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning, or they're up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning editing videos. I mean, again, there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. You know, the travel schedules when they're partnering up with these brands, and you know, when they get involved with agents and publicists, and they start, you know, getting people to want them to make public appearances, and it's very, very, very time intensive. And these people are essentially, you know, their own mini brands that are and really growing into to major brands. And it's a matter of watching everything they do and calculating every step they make, because, again, with social media these days, you're being watched constantly. You know, to answer your question more directly, you know, they're working around the clock. It's not a job where you're checking in at 8 a.m. and clocking out at 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Right.
I mean, they have to post, some of them multiple times a day, or shoot videos once weekly or multiple times a week or whatever it may be. And, you know, they have to be posting during the holidays as well. It's not like, again, you get 2 weeks off for holidays.
Right.
And people think, oh, well, that's simple and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, you know, if you really, really think about it, you've got to be pretty creative in what you're posting, because I got to imagine there's got to be a time where you probably look at yourself in the mirror, at least I would, and say, you know, what am I going to post today?
Right, exactly.
You you got to make sure that you're continuing to keep your followers engaged and want to continue to follow you and like your images if you're talking Instagram or whatever it may be, and of course grow your following as well. So it's very, very time intensive, and it's around the clock.
Absolutely, it's an endless beast that's 24/7. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the event that's happening in November, so don't go away.
Over here. Here's a secret for a virus-free computer. ESET. They've been a pioneer in the antivirus industry for over 25 years. 25 years of innovative, top-rated antivirus protection. ESET's award-winning security solutions provide a safe online experience for over 100 million home and business computer owners. They are so affordable, fast, and simple to use. So be gone, you blue screen of death. ESET's on my computer. If it's not on yours, visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on ESET now.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need, from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
What does HealthyLife.net and Amazon.com have in common? Well, they're both available on the Internet. They both give great value. But most important, most of our positive program hosts and guests are accomplished authors, and their books are available from, you got it, Amazon.com. Now, it even gets better than that, because when you're listening on air to a HealthyLife.net host or guest, you can go directly to Amazon.com and you can order your book while you're still listening to your favorite HealthyLife.net program. So when you hear an author you like, go to the homepage of HealthyLife.net and click on Amazon.com.
Where positive people and radio unite. HealthyLife.net.
Hey, welcome back. This is Patty Smucker, and you're listening to RadioAMB on HealthyLife.net. And I'm here with Christopher Crelin of the American Influencer Association, who is putting on their first annual American Influencer Awards, happening November the 18th here in Los Angeles, and we're very excited to be part of helping to support that event. Chris, you talked a little bit about this big event. It's going to be a 2-hour red carpet, then goes into a fabulous show with an award program. Tell us a little bit about the people behind the program, the sponsors that are helping to put this on.
Yes, absolutely. So, we've been extremely lucky to get such a warm response, especially for our first year. TKG and the Kirshner Group and Beauty Launchpad, owned by both Harlan Kirshner at TKG and Deborah Carver over at Launchpad, have played a huge role in getting this off the ground. We have a lot of great participating sponsors. We actually had a great problem this year. We had too many companies reaching out to us that wanted to be part of this. So again, we're just so blessed to have such a warm response. Some of the big sponsorships that we've got already are Amazon, Celeb Luxury, BH Cosmetics, Paul Mitchell, Ardell, BoxyCharm. I mean, I can go on and on. You can actually go to the website. We've listed a lot of the sponsors that we have at the bottom of the page there. Mm-hmm. If you go to AIAawards.com, you can see that information.
So again, AIAawards.com.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Great. And for our audience, because 60% of our audience is consumers, the Kirshner Group is the largest distributor of beauty products worldwide. In every category, the Kirshner Group has representatives that help to bring the most innovative beauty brands to market. Launchpad, do you want to tell a little bit about Launchpad and who they are?
Yeah, you can go ahead and tell them about Launchpad. That's fine.
So Launchpad is also beauty industry related, but Creative Age is a publishing company that has, I don't know how many different magazine properties, but in particular one of them is Launchpad. Again, primarily speaks to the beauty industry, but focuses on all of the new and upcoming things that are happening in the industry. So really people, both the Kirshner Group and Launchpad, that have been shaping the kind of beauty products that have been successful in the market for many, many years. So that's really exciting. And so, Christopher, tell us a little bit about if somebody wants to participate. I understand there's 2 ways to participate. One is to vote, and the other is to attend. So can you tell us a little bit about how to vote?
Yeah, so you can go to our website currently. The voting actually is through the month of October. It ends October 31st. Again, if you go to AIAawards.com, and you click the top right, it says Vote Now. If you click that link, it'll take you to the voting page, and you can see all the different categories that we have, along with all the great nominees that have been selected. And you can go ahead and place your votes, and then for the integrity of voting, you just place your name and email address and submit your votes. You can vote once daily, again, between now and the end of October. So essentially, all winners are going to be determined based on the public voting system that we have on the website, and it's very exciting. We again had an extremely warm response from the general public in terms of going to the website and placing votes. So again, we're really excited and can't wait for the event November 18th.
And you told me, and when we talked earlier, that there was a phenomenal number of people that voted early. Over 65,000 people that came on as soon as you opened it up?
Yeah, just the first day we actually had over 65,000 people come to the website and vote. And the numbers have been pretty steady since. So, again, we've had a phenomenal response. This is certainly a void that the beauty industry and certainly the influencers haven't had in the past, and we're just so happy to bring everybody under one roof and really recognize the talent.
Right. And so if somebody wanted to actually attend the event, again, tell us a little bit about ticket prices.
Yes, so ticket prices are $40 per ticket.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, you can, again, go to the website, AIAawards.com, and you can click on Buy Tickets on the top right corner, and essentially it takes you to the portal to purchase your tickets. And again, we're very, very excited. When we launched, we actually had a venue that was half the size because of the tremendous response that we got from the very beginning. We expect to have a sold-out crowd. We're going to have approximately 1,500 people. And I will tell you that we're almost sold out already, and we're still, quite some time away from the event. So if you would like to attend, jump on there. And for those that are unable to attend, we're actually going to be streaming it live, both the red carpet event, the 2-hour red carpet event. It's going to be hosted by Larissa Love and Adame, the beauty warrior. Very, very, very big, influential names in the professional beauty industry. And then, of course, the 2-hour award show being hosted by Patrick Starr and Candy Johnson.
Wow.
Will also be streamed live as well. So we're actually very, very excited to be announcing our streaming partner. Very, very, very well-known company. And I think everybody's going to be extremely excited. So, again, we expect a lot of people to be tuning in for the events and of course, being present. And if our event does sell out and you're unable to get a ticket, we are encouraging fans to come out and observe the red carpet event, which starts at 6 o'clock. I can say that Patrick and Candy will be out there at 6 p.m. sharp. They're going to be kicking off the live streaming event with Larissa and Adame. And, again, we expect a lot of great talent on the red carpet, and it's not just going to be influencers and giving out awards and thank you speeches at the award show. We've got a lot of great talent that's going to be participating as well. So we expect to have some musical acts, a gentleman by the name of Ricky Rebel specifically, who was on tour with Britney Spears for a year.
Okay.
Just performed at the Cannes Film Festival, and actually just recently hit the number 2 on the Billboard top list. So he'll be doing a performance along with some other surprise guests. So it should be a fun evening. That's great.
And I don't think we've mentioned where exactly in Los Angeles this event will be at.
Yes, so it's going to be at LA Live,
okay.
The Novo specifically. So, again, this is in downtown Los Angeles, out in California. So for those of you that are in town, we'd love to have you. And, of course, anybody that's coming in from out of town, you're more than welcome as well.
Great. Well, Christopher, thank you so much for being with us today. I know that I'm one of the people that are looking forward to being there as part of the Kirshner Group myself. And but thanks for this excellent work that you're doing, and congratulations.
Thank you, Patty. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Well, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we will meet Michael and learn a little bit about actually being an influencer. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now this same technology is available to you. They have the best Earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. EarthChannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now. So come to EarthChannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call EarthChannel.com at 1-800-849-8978. That's 1-800-849-8978.
We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
When you're looking for bedding, department store prices can shock you. Well, be shocked no more. Sell steak cheap, not cheap steak. That's the motto of Anna's Linens. Although they don't sell steak, they do sell the best bedding, bath, and home decor items. They strive to provide their merchandise at extreme value to their customers, and they do it. Great everyday prices on everything and military discounts. Plus, if you visit them online, they have clearance items and internet specials. Visit them online now at HealthyLife.net's advertiser page.
Radio your way. HealthyLife.net.
Thanks for staying with us. This is Patty Smucker. You're listening to Radio AMB on HealthyLife.net. And as I told you at the top of the show, we have Mike Mekash with us today, an Emmy Award-winning makeup artist. And welcome, Mike. We're delighted to have you with us.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your backstory. How did you get into the business of being a makeup artist?
Well, I think my art background started when I was very young. I think at some point, so, we won't go too far into the past, but just a quick synopsis, I guess, was being very young and basically coloring books and people going, oh, you're good at that.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And that's the type of the encouragement that I think we should all be giving the kids, because that little bit kind of gave me the incentive to keep going. I'm good at something.
Well,
obviously I wasn't. It was coloring.
But that's a really important point. I mean, a simple thing is you're good at something, and it was coloring, and that sort of inspired you.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I parlayed back, years and years and years. I ended up in high school drawing for my high school newspaper. Then after that, out of high school, got a job working construction. But I was close knit with the snowboarding community up in Washington State, so a lot of my friends needed designs for their snowboards or their skateboards or, that kind of thing. So I just kind of threw my hand in on that, which was a great learning experience, just from the fact that working with companies and working with pro writers is a lot like working with studios and a lot like working with actors. There's some things that you might want to do, but it's their vision that you're getting across. So you were working with somebody who had a vision that sort of saw themselves as being a bit of a celebrity. Yeah. Uh-huh. Interesting. So that helped. And then at some point, my brother actually worked down here in L.A. in the industry as a makeup artist as well, and started a company called Tinsley Transfers, which is making tattoos and prosthetics and whatnot. But he called and asked me if I wanted a job full-time doing graphic arts.
Mm-hmm.
I think I quit like 5 minutes after that.
Seattle to L.A. Do you want to be in the movie business?
Yeah. I didn't really know how far I would get, but I just knew it was an opportunity, and if you don't take opportunities when they arise, you might have just blown a lifetime of fun.
and I thought it was great that you mentioned, and this was your younger brother, and as a kid he would hang out in his bedroom and was doing some weird things that you just sort of wrote off as not really being that important.
Yes, exactly. I mean, the smell of clay and liquid latex, and him making chopped off heads and exploding this and that. I'm just like, this kid is so strange. I didn't know it was a job. I just thought, it's a hobby. Hopefully he'll get over it, because it's pretty strange.
Right.
But once he moved to L.A. and started doing things, and obviously got to a point where he could afford to hire me, which was very nice of him.
That's great. And so, what is a typical day look like for a makeup artist?
Well, if you're on a show already, it really starts at the beginning of the week. You start off at like 5 a.m. On a day, and you might work 12, 14 hours. You get enough turnaround to drive home, go to sleep, wake up, and drive back to work.
Wow.
The hours are tough.
Uh-huh.
But, at the same time, it's not like you're digging a ditch.
Right.
Makeup, so
right.
It's not exactly physical.
Right.
It's more mental. But then by Friday, the calls get pushed back to maybe noon. Then you're working from 12 p.m. till maybe 2 or 3 a.m. on a Saturday, which they call a Fraturday.
Oh.
So, it's long. It's hard work at some time, and there's a lot of different personalities, but in the long run, it's a very fulfilling job because
right.
you get to be creative and you get to hang out with the most creative people.
Right. And so tell us about some of the projects that you are working on at this time.
Right now, we just finished up American Horror Story for its 7th season, just a month ago about. So we were just finishing that up. We're starting a new project called 911 with Ryan Murphy Television, starring Angela Bassett. It's about first responders. So we're doing that. There's lots of fun stuff on that. We're also continuing to work on Versace, which is another American crime story, the follow-up to the OJ one that was out last year.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it's pretty intense. Besides that, I'm sculpting a Halloween costume.
And what will you be for Halloween this year?
It's hard to explain.
Okay.
It's kind of imagine every pattern that plays with your eyes. That's what I'm trying to accomplish, like a multi-faced makeup with patterns on the costume that hopefully people won't be able to look at me and figure out what look at my Facebook around Halloween, and maybe that'll explain what I'm trying to explain.
All right, great. Well, we definitely will, because actually when this show airs, that's exactly we'll be right there. So we'll be looking to support this show with seeing what you actually did. So tell us a little bit about what's that?
When I put that out there on the radio, I have to finish my costume.
That's right. We're going to be looking for it.
Oh my God.
So what's hard about your work?
What's that?
What's hard about it? Other than the hours.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I think the length of the hours and the time away from home sometimes, and away from loved ones, and sometimes you feel it's so important that you have to skip somebody's birthday or skip some kind of holiday because you're working, and if you don't do it, somebody else will do it. And, it's like you have to live your life. You have to take those times off to enjoy your life.
Right.
So I think that's the hardest part is the good balance between having a life and having a career. Yeah,
that's a really important point. All right, well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about American Horror Stories and some of the favorite characters that Mike's been involved with. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com.
When you're looking for bedding, department store prices can shock you. Well, be shocked no more. Sell steak cheap, not cheap steak. That's the motto of Anna's Linens. Although they don't sell steak, they do sell the best bedding, bath, and home decor items. They strive to provide their merchandise at extreme value to their customers, and they do it. Great everyday prices on everything and military discounts. Plus, if you visit them online, they have clearance items and internet specials. Visit them online now at HealthyLife.net's advertiser page.
We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
Oh, man, it never fails. My suitcase just got ripped apart.
Life is a journey. Make it a pleasant one. Use Samsonite. You know the name. For almost a century, Samsonite luggage has proved itself to be the worldwide leader in innovative travel solutions. Let it be yours. Visit HealthyLife.net's affiliate Samsonite on our homepage and click to look at the fine luggage from suitcases to golf travel bags. And don't forget, take a look at their travel accessories. Make life a journey, a pleasant one, with Samsonite.
HealthyLife.net, where positive overcomes negative.
Welcome back. You're listening to RadioAMB on HealthyLife.net. I'm Patty Smucker, and I am here with Grammy Award-winning makeup artist Michael Mekash. And so, Michael, tell us a little bit about working on the American Horror Stories. For those of you that may not know it, I don't know who couldn't, but tell us a little bit about what it is.
American Horror Story is an anthology series by Ryan Murphy, with a lot of the returning cast from every season. But it basically is, it's in the title. It's horror stories from an American point of view. So you have ghost stories, you have, scary stories about institutions, like an asylum,
right, or
a circus. I guess is kind of an institution. But it's about fear,
right. And I
think there's lots of fear.
and I love the fact that this year was really relevant in that the theme was political, and if there isn't a lot of fear around politics at this point, I don't know what is. So tell us about your favorite character. You just finished the 7th season, so who is there? A couple of characters that stand out?
In this season or past seasons?
Either.
I think in past seasons, obviously the first season was big for us, and one of the first characters we saw was a character called Infantata, played by Ben Wolfe, who since then has passed away. But very interesting character.
And
a little declamped when I talk about Ben. He was a very sweet guy. He was also in Freak Show. As oh God, why can't I think of it right now? Anyway, I can't think of the characters.
But why were those favorites?
I think he was so vulnerable. Although he was a monster, I think every monster, a good monster has a vulnerability, as well as every bad guy has, like Twisty. John Crelin put it probably the best when we were talking about his character, that, although we all think he's bad, what he thinks he's doing is actually something good.
Right.
That's what makes it so scary. Take current politics.
Yeah.
Obviously, some of the politicians are doing the greatest thing for America, but, it's all opinion-based. But those characters are what interest me. Not just I'm evil for the sake of being evil, or I'm just a crazy evil demon. But we have ghosts on our show that, they return to the scene of the crime because, they're looking for closure.
Right. So there's a lot of emotion. And so are you involved in actually envisioning the final product?
To a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have meetings, we get the scripts, we go over them, we highlight things that we think are, that have to do with makeup.
Mm-hmm.
We have a big meeting with the directors and the producers, and we all talk about it. And most of the time, Ryan has a distinct vision of what he wants, but then sometimes he'll throw in the season of American Story Coven. We had some zombies,
mm-hmm.
and what Ryan had said was, okay, so we're having zombies, but I don't want them to look like any zombies we've ever seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, that's not a hard job to do.
Right.
Sometimes the vision is very distinct, and he'll reference things. And my wife, Erin, who's the department head of makeup, they have a shorthand where they just kind of know what each other's talking about. But when it comes to that kind of stuff, you're like, well, that's great. We get to design it, but, we have to come up with something super cool and hopefully something that nobody's seen before.
Right.
And, did we do it? I don't know. You have to judge for yourself. But I think we came up with something that was a little different than most.
Right. And so what's your inspiration? Where do you go to when you're having to be creative? Is there a place that you go to find that inspiration?
There are lots of books. There's lots of art books. There's I follow lots of people on Instagram that do amazing art where it may not be makeup, but it's still inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's fantasy or sci-fi. I mean, I think you can look anywhere and find inspiration. On this last season, designing some of these clowns, Ryan just gave us distinct words
to
pull from. He said we needed 9 clowns, so Dave Anderson at AFX, who makes all the prosthetics, and I and a couple other designers kind of just got together and just said, okay, so these are the distinct groups. Like, one of the words was holes, because some people have fear of holes.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have fear of, whatever it may be. But so it was just a single word, and I mean that was the best. That was the I don't know how to exactly say it, but that was exactly what we needed. Just a single word, and you could just run with it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Nothing was too far. Nothing was, you could play it too safe, but you couldn't reach too far.
Right.
That's what I'm going to say.
Right.
So, I mean, it was a joy.
Yeah.
Some of those.
That's great. So tell us, can you give us any kind of sneak peek about what may be coming up?
I can never tell what hasn't already been told.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you go on the internet and you type in American Horror Story, you will see that this year we're doing some other cult members that Evan Peters is playing.
Uh-huh.
And those are very fun because we get to go back. A lot of times we'll film in the genre that they might have filmed in. Like if we do David Koresh, we use, a VHS recorder.
Uh-huh.
And so it looks it's fun, but at the same time it's super creepy when you think about these were real people and they manipulated people, mentally and physically.
Right.
And, as much as we think it's the past, I mean, we're living in a time when there's still a lot of cults out there.
Right.
And there's a lot of extreme views on certain things that, you got to be careful if you get into something too. You might not think it's crazy in the beginning, but, there's baby steps.
Right.
So I think that's the scariest thing about this season is it could all happen again. It's probably happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't know until you're too far in.
Right, right.
So.
Well, as we wrap up this last segment, thank you for taking some time to share with us some of your insights and for the great work that you're doing. It's really a delight to meet you.
Thank you so much, Patty. It was my pleasure.
And if somebody wanted to follow you, what's some of the best ways to watch what you're doing?
I used to have a Twitter account, but I forgot my password, so that's out. I do have an Instagram, and it's just at Mike Mekash.
Okay.
That's MEKASH.
Okay.
And I have my Facebook. You can always friend me on Facebook.
Okay, great.
But, those are the only places.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Continued success.
Thank you so much.
All right, that will do it for us today. Make sure that you check in with us next week when we take a sneak preview into a new skincare brand and a cosmetic brand for men. I'm Patty Smucker. That's what my last name is, Smucker. Thanks for listening to Radio AMB, where we think pretty is pretty important in all things in beauty.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now this same technology is available to you. They have the best Earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. EarthChannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now. So come to EarthChannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call earthchannel.com at 1-800-849-8978. That's 1-800-849-8978.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Obstacle racing. You know you want to try it. Well, try Reebok's Spartan Race, the global leader in obstacle racing. With 4 different race levels, their goal is to get you up off the couch and throw you into the mud and on the trails to give you the adrenaline rush of your life. Obstacle courses are designed to test your resilience, strength, stamina, quick decision-making skills, and give you the ability to laugh in the face of adversity. Visit HealthyLife.net advertiser page and click on Spartan Race.
HealthyLife.net, the positive radio network.